6 Signs of a Stupid Person. Imagine for a moment that your life could be transformed, not by what you do, but by how you think and how you choose to see the world. What if the key to true happiness, to lasting fulfillment, lies in unlocking your mind, breaking free from old patterns, and embracing a deeper understanding of yourself and others? Today, we're going to explore 6 powerful signs that can guide you toward a wiser, more meaningful life. One filled with joy, connection, and growth. Stay with me, because the journey you're about to embark on might just be the most important one of your life. Number 1. A closed mind. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a garden. The more open it is, the more space there is for new ideas to take root, for fresh experiences to bloom, and for your life to flourish. But when you close it off, when you limit what you're willing to learn or consider, you trap yourself in a small, barren patch. The world is vast, and there's so much out there waiting for you to discover, but you can't access that greatness if your mind is locked tight. A closed mind doesn't just make you miss opportunities, it keeps you stuck. You may find yourself repeating the same patterns, facing the same struggles, and wondering why life feels like a never-ending loop. What if the key to breaking free lies not in changing the world around you, but in changing your mindset? A closed mind is a barrier that prevents you from growing, from evolving, and from becoming the wiser, happier person you aspire to be. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking we know everything, especially as we grow older. We tend to believe that our experiences have taught us all we need to know. But that's not wisdom, that's stagnation. Life, my friends, is constantly changing, and wisdom comes from recognizing that change. True growth happens when we challenge our assumptions, when we allow new perspectives to challenge our beliefs. If you want to experience the kind of happiness that comes from real fulfillment, you must be open to new ideas and new ways of thinking. Because every new idea is an opportunity to move closer to the life you want to live. Think about it. How many times have you resisted something because it was unfamiliar or uncomfortable? How many times have you told yourself, "That's just not for me," or "I've already got this figured out"? If that's you, you're not alone. But ask yourself, what would happen if you opened yourself up to those new experiences, to those new ideas? What if you allowed your mind to stretch, to bend, and to grow? Would you be a wiser person? Would you find more joy in your life? Your happiness depends on your ability to expand your mind, not limit it. The more open you are to the world around you, the more opportunities you have to find wisdom, connection, and ultimately fulfillment. So, the next time you're tempted to close your mind to something new, take a deep breath and remember, growth happens when we challenge what we think we know. Number 2, constant blaming. How many times have you found yourself pointing the finger, blaming someone or something else for the challenges in your life? It's an easy habit to fall into when things go wrong. It's tempting to say, "It's not my fault," or "If only that person hadn't done this." But here's the truth. When we blame others, we surrender control over our own happiness and growth. Let me reset your thinking for a moment. Imagine you're standing in front of a mirror. That reflection you see? It's yours, and only yours. No one else can control how you respond to the challenges in your life. No one else can dictate the choices you make in moments of adversity. You, and only you, are responsible for how you navigate the ups and downs that come your way. Constantly blaming others or external circumstances is a form of mental and emotional imprisonment. It allows you to stay stuck in the past, focused on what was done to you, rather than what you can do for yourself. It gives away your power, your ability to rise, to learn, and to thrive. Think about it. If your happiness depends on other people's actions, you're forever at their mercy. You'll never be free, and you'll never truly find peace. What if, instead of blaming, you chose to focus on what you can control? What if you shifted your mindset to one of personal responsibility? Imagine the freedom you'd feel knowing that you hold the keys to your own destiny. Life isn't perfect, and not everything is fair. Bad things will happen, but the power lies in how you respond. Every time you find yourself blaming someone or something else, take a moment to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What part did I play in this situation, and how can I take responsibility for my own actions? It's this shift from blame to accountability that leads to a life of true empowerment and lasting happiness. When you stop blaming, you stop being a victim. You become the creator of your own future. Remember, happiness doesn't come from waiting for the world to treat you a certain way. It comes from your ability to navigate challenges with grace, to learn from your mistakes, and to take ownership of your responses. The more you own your choices, the more you step into your power and open the door to genuine fulfillment and wisdom. Number 3. Arrogance. You're standing in front of a room full of people, confident in your knowledge, your abilities, and your ideas. But somewhere beneath that confidence lies something more dangerous: arrogance. Arrogance is the belief that you know everything, that your view of the world is the only valid one. It's a mask that hides insecurity and closes you off from learning, growth, and ultimately happiness. Now, let's reset. Ask yourself, how many times have you let your ego get in the way of a real, meaningful conversation? How many times have you dismissed someone else's opinion, thinking, I know better, without even considering their perspective? Arrogance isn't just about being loud or boastful. It's about being closed off to the possibility that you might be wrong, that there is always more to learn, and that wisdom doesn't come from knowing it all, but from embracing the truth that you don't. In the pursuit of happiness, arrogance is a major roadblock. Why? Because it blinds you to opportunities for growth. The more you cling to the idea that you already know everything, the less room you leave for new experiences, fresh insights, or deeper connections with others. Happiness, true happiness, comes from the constant pursuit of knowledge, understanding, and humility. When you refuse to acknowledge that there's always more to learn, you rob yourself of those opportunities. Imagine how much richer your life would be if you approached each conversation with humility, if you listened with the intent to learn, not just to respond. Think about how much more fulfilling your relationships could be if you stopped assuming that you have all the answers. True wisdom, the kind that leads to lasting happiness, isn't found in arrogance. It's found in the quiet awareness that there's always more to discover, always more to understand. Here's the thing. When you let go of arrogance, you make space for empathy, for connection, and for real, authentic joy. You open the door to better relationships, a more profound understanding of the world, and a life that is truly meaningful. The wise know that there's no end to learning, that humility is the true path to wisdom, and that by acknowledging our own ignorance, we pave the way to true freedom. So the next time you catch yourself being arrogant, take a step back. Open your mind, let go of the need to be right, and make room for the endless possibilities that come from embracing the wisdom of others. Number 4, lack of empathy. In our fast-paced modern world, it's easy to get caught up in our own lives, chasing after our own goals and focusing on our own struggles. But what happens when we forget to connect with the feelings, the pain, and the joys of others? A lack of empathy can create a barrier between us and the true fulfillment we seek in life. It's not just about understanding others' experiences, it's about recognizing that our happiness is deeply intertwined with the happiness of those around us. Take a moment to reset. Have you ever felt misunderstood, alone, or unsupported? Now think about a time when someone truly listened to you, when they made an effort to understand what you were going through, to stand beside you in your struggles. How did that feel? It's one of the most powerful experiences we can have. Feeling seen, feeling heard. This is the essence of empathy, and it's what makes life richer, more connected, and more meaningful. Empathy is the bridge that connects us all. When we lack it, we create isolation, not just for others, but for ourselves. Think about it. How often do we rush through conversations, distracted by our own thoughts, focused only on ourselves? In doing so, we miss the opportunity to truly understand the experiences of those we care about. We miss out on the chance to show kindness, to make a real difference in someone's life, and to build meaningful connection. Here's the truth. Happiness isn't a solitary pursuit. We are social creatures, wired for connection, and our fulfillment comes not just from achieving our own goals, but from sharing in the joys and pains of others. When we fail to empathize, we miss the opportunity to experience life at its fullest. Empathy allows us to break down the walls between us and others, to see the world from different perspectives, and to build deeper, more authentic relationships. By cultivating empathy, you open yourself up to a world of shared experiences, deeper love, and mutual respect. You'll find that the more you care about others' happiness and well-being, the more joy you experience in your own life. Empathy isn't just an emotional skill, it's a life-changing practice that leads to greater happiness and fulfillment. The wise know that our emotional bonds are the true source of a rich, happy life. So, the next time you're interacting with someone, pause, listen, and seek to understand. You'll find that by truly connecting with others, you'll unlock a deeper sense of joy for yourself as well. Number 5. Fear of change. Change is one of life's few constants, yet it's also one of the most feared forces we face. We hold on to comfort, routine, and familiarity because they feel safe, predictable. But what happens when we resist change, when we cling too tightly to the past? We stop living. We stop growing, and ultimately, we stop experiencing the fullness of life that leads to true happiness. Take a moment to reset. Think about the last time you hesitated to make a change in your life. Maybe it was a job change, a relationship shift, or a decision to follow a new passion. Now, ask yourself, what did that fear cost you? Was it worth it? The truth is, fear of change often holds us back from the very things that could make our lives more vibrant, fulfilling, and meaningful. We get stuck in a place of what-ifs and never move forward. Every major shift in your life, every new chapter has come with a dose of fear. But it's also brought growth, wisdom, and most importantly, happiness. Think about the personal victories that came from stepping out of your comfort zone. It's in embracing change that we find new opportunities for growth, love, and success. Happiness isn't born from staying the same. It comes from evolution, from stepping into the unknown, from having the courage to embrace what comes next. Whether it's a new career path, a new relationship, or simply a change in mindset, every change is an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. And with that growth comes the happiness you seek, a happiness that doesn't come from stasis, but from motion. The key to overcoming the fear of change is recognizing that change doesn't mean chaos. Change is not about throwing everything you know into disarray. It's about evolving, adapting, and growing into the person you are meant to become. It's about opening yourself to new experiences and new perspectives that will enrich your life in ways you never imagined. So, the next time change comes knocking, don't shut the door out of fear. Open it, step through it, and let the transformation begin. The life you're dreaming of, the one filled with happiness, purpose, and fulfillment, is waiting on the other side of that change. Embrace it and watch how it transforms your world. Number 6. Talking more than listening. In our world of constant noise, where everyone seems eager to share their opinion, it's easy to forget the most powerful tool we have in building happiness and wisdom: listening. Think about the last meaningful conversation you had. Was it a time when someone truly listened to you, or when you felt heard and understood? Now, ask yourself, how often do you give others that same gift? Let's reset for a moment. Imagine you're in a room full of people, all talking over each other, each person trying to be heard. In the chaos, very few truly understand one another. Now picture a different scenario. In this room, everyone takes the time to listen before speaking, to reflect before responding. What happens? People feel valued, respected, and truly connected. That's the power of listening. Talking more than listening may feel like it gives us control, like it makes us more important in a conversation, but in reality it does the opposite. It prevents us from learning, from understanding, and from deepening our relationships. When we dominate conversations, we miss the opportunity to learn from others, whether it's their wisdom, their experiences, or even their unique perspective. The more we speak, the less room there is for growth. Think about your own happiness for a moment. It's tied to relationships, to the ability to connect with others, and to understand the world around you. But how can we truly connect if we're too busy talking to listen? True fulfillment comes from listening deeply, not just to respond, but to understand. When you listen, you open doors to deeper wisdom, richer conversations, and more meaningful connections. This is where happiness thrives, where you feel seen, heard, and understood. By listening more than you speak, you create space for others to share, for ideas to flourish, and for wisdom to emerge. You also invite more opportunities to grow, because listening allows you to absorb valuable insights that you would otherwise miss. Imagine how much richer your life could be if you became a better listener, if you stopped focusing on what you were going to say next, and instead absorbed what others were offering. The greatest minds throughout history knew that listening is where true learning begins. So, the next time you find yourself eager to speak, pause. Listen first. The wisdom and happiness you seek are waiting for you in the silence, in the moments when you allow others to be heard. The path to wisdom, happiness, and fulfillment begins with self-awareness and openness to growth. By shedding the signs of a closed mind, constant blaming, arrogance, lack of empathy, fear of change, and talking more than listening, you create space for a life rich in understanding, connection, and joy. Embrace the journey of learning, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself. Remember, true happiness comes from within and from the relationships we nurture. Thank you for your time today. May you live with intention, wisdom, and an open heart. Good luck on your journey.